Are doing our Mew song, which I'll lead with. And then, or would you rather do day tripper corrections, Mew?
Yeah,
or
I'll
Mew?
do the day tripper first.
Cool. Awesome. So, like we were talking about during the lesson, if you thought about rhythm not existing and not bunching your whole hand up on that, that would be the trip. Would be just pushing down, and we do want to be bent at our first knuckle like this, but as long as it's at all, you'll be fine. What we're trying to avoid is being so far down that your ring and index get out of the ball game. So just try to go. And what we did for as an exercise was just left your ring finger there and showed your hand, I can do this. In reality, it'll be. And then just try and, really the simple version, if I sucked more at this, would just be like, just use better economy of motion, keep your hand spread out. That's kind of the short version, but in reality, we can kind of just work on going. And then we can fully bail out on the way to the next chord, like we were talking about. And I would make what you're working on be this subsection. And then just, like that's a chord on its own, you don't care if you hit all the strings or it sounds terrible or whatever. So yeah, unlike Come As You Are, where we were trying to do this. Oh, here we actually saw, like we said in the lesson, we see McCartney going, I need a second here, I'm going to use an open string. And that keeps us spread out, the second riff. And accordingly, when you play the last two notes, these two, you want to not bunch your hand up, and that'll happen subconsciously also. Generally speaking, you're a little bit this way with your playing, like my hand trying to find a vice grip to push down, whereas we just generally want our thumb straight up and down, whether we're like this or like this, however. I mean, I'm doing it a little bit, and it's all a product of finger strength, where your brain's like, oh, I'm going to really find a grip for that. So it's all good. It's always our goal to be in good position pushing down, and then if it doesn't work, we just have five pounds too many on the bar. Cool. So, totally bail out, and then the rest should be. And then when you get to that last note, your goal is to be ready to play the next two notes, not have gone, which is like this, which will be tempting, but you totally don't need to do. There's no barring thing there. It's fully just. So yeah, you make your goal to just be, I am hovering right here doing this without too much moving around. But if you do sandwich up here somewhat, you have that second to bail out and spread back out. So there we are. And then just the same exact thing occurring, just one string grouping down towards the ground. Cool. 3 minutes in. Here we are on Mew. The way we got into this is I was like, play A minor, move your ring finger here, do this, that, the other. And we're going to start with that, but really we want to just memorize this chord shape as an autonomous concept. So that said, for the first time, we're on A minor, C, like the thing like this. So down from the ground, and then 3, 3, 2, 0, 1, 0. And then that's the C version we're using, and then the other one's going to be, it's more bunched up. The first one in the song is F. What we're going for here, and I'll tap this, of course, is I'm muting with my thumb, and if you hit it, it wouldn't sound like the worst thing ever. And as long as you don't get open first string, we're cool. As long as your index finger is making contact with it at all, which for what it's worth on my hand, it's about there. I'm touching it on my finger, like midway through my fingertip. Either way, it's like if you ever forget I told you that you're supposed to come straight in at the strings and just like flop down or whatever. But yeah, so there we are. So yeah, down, up, down, up, down. Probably just stop, do that some before we try to go. And then yeah, so if you're going to end up doing that, here's where we'll start. So that's not so atrociously fast. So there you are. There's your first chord grip, and that's called F. So just try to start with it as a standalone, rather than going A minor. I have to think about A minor to play it. And then the next thing that happens is everything but your first finger moves skyward in the same cluster. And this is a version of a C chord. And now it does not matter if we have the first string open. What's more, we kind of want to. And we're same thing. and then we get to that power chord shape. And Day Tripper, we were playing B power chord. This is B flat power chord, and flat totally just means back one, and sharp means totally moves forward one. And then we're putting our pinky in there too. So I'm nothing, which we talked about. I'm using my fingertip to barely touch the sixth string. Then 1, 3, 3, and my first finger's just touching the string. So this is something that must be done in classical position, and the way we tricked you into doing that in the lesson was to put all 4 fingers on the bass string, even though we're not doing pinky stuff really at this point, and including letting your thumb go down lower and your hand be more out in front of the instrument. There you go. So when you're playing at home, even if you're a sloucher or a curl-upper, try to just get feet on the floor, shoulder width apart, and it should not be tempting to put your arm onto your leg. If that's happening, your fretboard's still too far down this way, which is something we correct with not our right hand, or not our fretting hand. It's something we correct with just holding the instrument again. Like I'm sure I've said on previous videos, where if anything, it's about to fall off in this direction, and then steadying it by moving it against our body such that the fretboard chills in that position, which is pretty much causing all of the problems, aside from ouch my hand. So the more time you can spend on starting position, it will be a time saver. It's just a pain. So yeah, maybe make that your focus the weak holding the guitar. So we don't want to be in a position where it's even tempting to rest our arm on our leg. So kind of sit up straight more. Or you could even stand if you have a strap at home. That would be interesting to experiment with. Sometimes it's a lot easier because it sits right where you want it to without you having to position it, and you can check it out and then sit down and try to, emulate that same position with your hand-arm set up. But yeah, there we go. So, the open strum. I don't know if we've had that concept come up before. I would be hard pressed to go and get it that fast. So on the very last strum, before my left hand changes, I've actually already left and I'm hitting open strings. Here it is in slow-mo. Like that, and that's just normal guitar playing. So it's like, that's what we're used to hearing. So you've got 2 split seconds to switch, and you can apply that to all your chord stuff, and especially a shape change like this where it's a big one. So there we go, the open strum. Right there. So you'll be doing this, and then you could even just isolate and go down, down. And that should be a tougher change to execute for what we've tried. But there's the good news, you have 2 split seconds. In the first 2 chords in this song, it'll just be these 3 fingers picking up on the last strum, like, and so there we are. Up. Up. Concept, open strum. Underemphasized concept. I can't believe everybody doesn't just tell their students and on YouTube, you just hit the open strings once. You just hit the open strings once.